Resources, inspiring interviews, business practices, and practical advice to take your art career to the next level. Join Sergio Gomez in today's Artist Next Level and get ready to take control of your career.
Well, hello friends, Sergio Gomez here, and I want to welcome you first to the Art Next Level podcast. It is really a pleasure to have you here today. Well, normally you are probably used to listening to the interviews that we have here at the Art Next Level, and every week I bring a guest that we have an amazing conversation, and we bring their story, we bring also advice that you can use in your art career. But once in a while, I like to take a break from that and also share other things. So today is no exception. I want to share with you a tool that you can use for your art career. I want to once in a while also bring some specific advice and tools that could be very useful for your art career. And today I'm going to talk about the electronic press kit, also known as an EPK. It's an electronic press kit for visual artists. Now you may say, well, what is that, Sergio? Why in the world would I need one? Well, give me a little bit of time. I'll tell you what it is and how you can use this particular tool, and also why it has been very useful for me, and what are some of the things that you will find inside of a typical electronic press kit. Well, first and foremost, let me tell you that I've made my first press kit, I don't know, maybe about 2-3 years ago, and it has been one of the most useful tools that I have in my arsenal as an artist when it comes to marketing. This is something that anyone who I meet, let's say I go to an opening or I go to an event, I meet somebody or we exchange a business card, the very next day I can follow up really quickly and say, hey, it was really nice meeting you last night or what have you. Here's my press kit, take a look, gives you a quick overview of who I am and what I do as an artist. So this is a tool that you can have, that you can use for many purposes. It's also a tool that I have it, for example, in the signature of my email, so in all emails that I send out, anyone can press on the link that says download my press kit. So let me get right onto what is a press kit. Well, a press kit is also referred to as a media kit. The press kit is mainly a marketing tool that composed of information that is relevant to your art practice. That's pretty much it. Think of it as a website on a file in a way. It's kind of like the most important parts of that. It defines who you are and what you do. The purpose is when somebody downloads or looks at your press kit or opens it up really quickly, they should know who you are, what is it that you do, and some information about your art as well as some samples, of course. Normally, a press kit will include your bio, will include also your art statement, something short, concise, to the point, your CV or highlights of your CV, kind of like the most important maybe shows, solo shows, group shows, awards, etc. Some samples of press, things that other people have written about you should also be part of your press kit. What I've done also is, as you have more time in your on your resume, as you have more experience, I should say, in your resume as an artist, and more people have written about your work, well, that could be quite extensive. But what you can do is, and this is something I have done too, I have now looked at a lot of the articles that people have written about my work, and sometimes what I do is I just take a couple sentences from each, and that's what I include in my press kit. So there's one page where I have various quotes from different people that have written about my work, and that's included there. Of course, samples of your work, and what's nice about the press kit is it's a document that you can update at any time. So as you create new work or as you are focusing on a new body of work, you can update this. And of course, it has your contact information. So a press kit is a very useful tool. Now, you might ask, well, Sergio, why do I need a digital press kit? That sounds cool, but what's the use? Well, it is one document that has all your relevant information that is really easy to send. Also, when I have an exhibition, I can send this press kit to the gallery. I can send this also to any press people who might be interested on covering the show. It also includes a headshot that could be, with a right click, you can download the picture as well. It's easy to share that via email or as a downloadable through your website. And again, it's something that you can send to editors, anyone who's writing about you, whether on print or online, journalists, authors, gallery owners, curators, art reps, collectors, prospective clients as well. It's not only for media people. I send this to sometimes people who just want to know more about me. Hey, here, check out this PDF. So easy to download. It's a lot easier to send this press kit than, for example, 10 pictures and then descriptions, and it gets kind of messy, as you know, over email. So it's one document that has everything. Also, it could be transformed into a proposal as well. Again, anyone who is inquiring, who's interested, or who I want to introduce myself as an artist, this is one document I've used many, many times. Not only myself, but I have inside the Art Next Level membership site, at theartistnextlevel.com, I have a full video with tons of samples on how you can build your own digital press kit. But today I want to cover, again, some of the highlights, some of those points. What should be in a digital press kit? Well, and you can put this together in a Word document. If you have some graphic design skills, for example, you can pretty much design a really nice looking press kit in InDesign. InDesign is a wonderful software to create multi-page documents. but you can do this, with any type of software that allows you to create multi-page documents. So you start with an opening page. An opening page usually will have an image of your art, one image that you like, that think it looks really good, that fits well within the size of the page. Or sometimes I have artists that I work with in which instead of a full image, maybe a detail of the work or something that is really eye-catching. That's the main thing. Something that looks beautiful, eye-catching. Could be also a beautiful photograph of an exhibition. But anyway, so that's in your opening page, and then it will have your name, and underneath it will say press kit. It's simple as that. Next page, page number 2, you could have your bio. No longer than one page. Again, this is just something quick and easy to introduce yourself. Short bio about yourself, maybe where you went to school, how did you become an artist, whatever you want to share as a biographical piece as well. I always include in that page a headshot. That is also important, especially for people who may be writing about you online or so, and sometimes they request a headshot. So I include that in the press kit too. And again, it's really easy to grab from there as well. Of course, if they want something high res, I can always send that as a separate file later on. But it's just nice to have that available for them as well. Then I also have my artist statement. And artist statement, again, short, concise, to the point. This is not an exhibition proposal. Again, it's just an introduction about yourself. What is it that you do as an artist? And again, just a wonderful artist statement. You can put that in there. I would then, after that, I would have another page with press samples. And these are, again, writings by other people about your work. And if you don't have press samples, especially if you're starting your art career, I often talk about, or with young artists who say, well, sorry, I don't have text yet. I don't have any reviews or that kind of thing. Well, what you want to do is next time you have a show, you want to send a quick email or letter to the curator of that show, even if it's a group show and you had a good experience there. Ask them if they can, recommend you, give you a brief recommendation statement. It doesn't have to be a huge letter, because, to do a big letter, it takes time. The person has to know you very well. But if the experience was good, maybe just a couple sentences or one short paragraph, from which then you can use parts of that in your press samples, or maybe a former professor who knows you well and you had a good experience with. It could even be sometimes another artist. If there's another artist who knows you well and is a respected artist in the community, or someone you have worked with, ask them if they can write a quick sort of testimonial or a quick statement about your art. Again, if you ask them for a full letter, well, you have to wait until they have time, or they might not have enough to say. But if you are straightforward and say, hey, I'm putting together a press kit, would you mind, giving me a short paragraph about, what you think about my art? That would be awesome. And, those things you can go not only on your press kit, but they can also go in your website. So this is something that definitely you can do. You just have to be proactive. You just have to think about these things often enough so that when you have an opportunity, you ask for these short write-ups that will enhance your marketing material. Number 6 is samples of work, 2 or 3 pages maximum. That's also important. Samples of your art. You want to have those 2 or 3 pages max. I would say, again, this is not an exhibition proposal. It's just an introduction. I would suggest maybe no more than 3 works per page. See, if you put too many, and I've seen artists who make press kits, they have too many pictures in one page. Well, they are too small. They're like little thumbnails. Can hardly see it. I normally do just maybe 2 or 3 the most. And if it's a really nice image with a lot of detail, I might, give it, if it's worthwhile, a full page for that image, and then a couple pages with the smaller images. Again, the idea is to grab the attention of the person who's looking at your press kit, be excited about it, and wanting to know more about yourself as an artist. So that's another thing that you can have there. Make sure to use beautiful photos of your art, of your work. That is very important too in a press kit. Make sure that the artwork is, it's beautifully documented. If you don't have a good camera, maybe ask another artist, another friend, if they can take a couple of pictures for you, or collaborate with a photographer. Or maybe you need to hire somebody. I mean, I know artists' works who are very challenging to photograph because maybe there's a lot of reflection. Maybe they're 3-dimensional in nature, and they are, there are certain qualities in the work that you just have a hard time photographing. Well, maybe it's time to invest in having someone come to your studio for one day for a few hours and just take a few pictures of various works in one sitting. So it will save you some time and some money as well. So, but definitely you want to have good pictures of your art in your press kit. Beautiful images. I also recommend to have at least a couple shots where you can see the artwork within the context of a space. What do I mean by that? Well, I mean is that as a curator myself and director of exhibitions of a large art center, I'm always looking at proposals and things that come in the mail and come also electronically. And a lot of times, you see a picture after picture and work may look very interesting, but when you see a photograph in that proposal or in that press kit or in that packet, that also shows the work within the context of a space, whether inside of the studio or in a gallery setting or a museum setting. It just all of a sudden, it takes 1 second for the curator, for the gallery director, the owner to kind of visualize the work in the context of space. And you may be an artist who works with miniature size paintings, or maybe you do the opposite. Maybe you do gigantic monumental paintings or works or whatever, sculpture, whatever you do. So just to have a photograph, you just kind of all of a sudden puts everything in context. Now, you may have work in various sizes, which is kind of very very common, that you have work in various sizes, but just then have a photograph that shows a couple of them within a setting. And I find those to be super helpful when I'm looking at art, when I'm looking at shows to curate and so forth. When I'm looking at artists that I'm interested in, it just puts perspective really fast on how this work looks within a space. Now, I get artists who are also emerging, say, well, Sergio, I still don't have a good picture of a really nice show, or maybe that one show I had that was just an amazing show. Well, I lost the photos, or my computer crashed and deleted all, or the dog ate my CD, whatever, it doesn't matter. Well, what you can do, and this is what I'd recommend, is just take your studio, clean up a corner of your studio for one day, and just set up, repaint the walls so they look nice and clean and beautiful, and set up a couple of pieces, and take a couple of pictures on that corner. That's okay. Again, you're just showing, again, the work within the context of space. If you don't have a good, nice looking studio, maybe a friend has one, or maybe in your house, just clean up a couple corners and just take a couple shots that, again, shows the work within context of space, and it just kind of gives you a good sense of scale. So again, that's on photographs, and I talk about photographs because as artists, we rely on the photographs of our art to really present ourselves out there. So you gotta invest in having amazing images. And of course, another part of your press kit is your contact information. You want to have good, beautiful design press kit that ends with your contact info, right? It's useless if you forget to put your contact information. And the contact info, you should put everything there, your studio address, your how they can contact you through email, through phone, through social media, links to your socials, and so on. However you want to be contacted, however you want to be followed, you can put that there as well. And you can make those as links too, especially if you're, because this is a digital document, you can also make those things into a link so that somebody can just click that and click on and go to your website right away, or follow up somewhere else. So very important on the press kit is also to keep it simple. You want to keep it nice and easy. You want to keep it simple. So that it's easy to read. It's about the information, not about your skill as graphic designer. So of course you want to have a beautiful presentation, but keep it simple. That would be my advice for that when it comes to creating a press kit. Now, what about video and sound media? Maybe some of you do sound, or some of you do video installation work. So how would you do a press kit for that? Well, what I recommend in that case is to take a still shot of a video or an audio piece. Just find an image you can use, and then insert that and put a link to your video or your sound in to SoundCloud or YouTube or Vimeo or whatever. You can post that online. So in the press kit you can still have that information, have it as an image base, but with a clickable link, so that the person who's looking at your press kit can do that. And that is very common now with so many artists who do multimedia, who are media artists. This is a great way in which you can still have that information, just make it clickable. And again, include installation shots of work within the gallery space. If you're an installation artist, that's pretty kind of self-explanatory, but I think it's important to mention. Make sure that your images are very good. So then, once you have this awesome document, the question is, what am I going to do with it? Now, Sergio, I have this awesome PDF. Well, first, make sure it's not too big to download. I would say no more than 2 megabytes. If it's too big, then what you can do, once you export this as a PDF, important to have it as a PDF, not as a Word document. If you have Adobe PDF Acrobat Pro, you can also go to the file and say file save as the small size PDF. And what it will do is it will downsize the images so that it still look good. You can pick the quality of it and still make it into a PDF that will easily fit on an email. If you don't have that, if you're working on a Mac and you have Pages instead of Word, you can build it in Pages and then export as a PDF, and you can choose the quality of the PDF as well. So there are ways to do that. And if you don't have none of that, if you just have a Word document and you end up with this really giant file, what you can do then is also there are online services that you can use for free. You say go to Google and type downsize PDF file, and you will find number of websites who do it for you for free. All you have to do is just upload the PDF, and then it spits back out a smaller size PDF. So there are options. There's definitely ways to do it. I give you here some ideas what you can do with that. Now, once you're done with it, again, you can have it as a downloadable from your website. For example, in your contact page, you can say download my press kit. You can also include it as again, in your email as a footer, a link to download the document. The idea is to use this document as much as you can. When any time that you meet a new person, you exchange a business card, this is a great follow-up sequence. The secret of increasing your network in the art world and outside of the art world is the follow-up. The thing that most people forget to do is follow up. you meet somebody, follow up the next day and send them your PDF. You can also meet somebody and you find them in LinkedIn or in Facebook. Hey, you can attach a PDF too. So again, my friends, hopefully this is helpful for you. Like I said, I have a full video step-by-step on how to do a press kit with samples online inside of our membership at theartixnextlevel.com. Check it out. But I hope this podcast was useful for you. Use this PDF press kit to your advantage, and use it as much as you can. I think you will find it very useful for your career. So my friend, I hope you enjoy this podcast. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please share it with a friend. Give us also good reviews in iTunes. This is one way in which you can share the love with us, in which you can help us to get this podcast to more people, because the more reviews that are in iTunes, the greater the relevance when somebody is searching for artist resources. So I hope you find it useful, my friend. Thank you for listening, and I will see you at the next level.
Check out our website at www.theartistnextlevel.com, where you will find our podcast library, learn about our upcoming webinars, find resources relevant to your career, and much more. Thanks for listening to today's podcast, and we'll see you at the next level.